Hey, this is Josh. I'm just going to demonstrate how to do a posting for the course. I'm going to recommend using Word just to write it so that you don't lose anything in your document. So I'm already in there. I may come up with a posting title later. And right now we're dealing with the war photo that no one would publish, so I'm going to actually just go into that. If I were reading it, I probably would have some highlighted areas that I would keep notes on. So what I'm going to do is go down into an area where there's a good quote and pull that in first and see what happens. This seems like a good one. We're talking about limitations on the use of images in war. So right away I know I'm quoting, so I put it in quotes. In our MLA format, you'll get used to basically just putting in the author's last name. Since there's no page number, we're not putting a page in. It's a website, so there's no pages. All right, there's a quote. What I might do is look at it. Some of the most widely seen images of the air war were shot not by photographers, but rather by unmanned cameras. This is something strange. I'm not going to talk. I'll just type for a second. It's kind of hard to do both. Okay, so I have a paragraph already. I started with a quote. I don't like to do that, so I probably go back and lead into this somehow. When we call those lead-in signal phrases or tag identifiers, and this is just a simple one. So I'm just setting up the situation. Since I mentioned DeGette's name in the citation, I don't want to use her here, so I just use the author. Now, most postings we want to have a couple paragraphs. I'm gonna actually go backwards and lead into this maybe with a question. I could end with a question, just a way to get people interested. So it's a question that we could ask of any war, whether it's a civil war, World War I, whatever. What happens? What happens? What does it look like? So there's a question somebody could answer, somebody could relate to it, or not. And there's a couple paragraphs. Now the thing I didn't do was put a title. I recommend putting one last because now I know what I did. You saw I surprised myself in this paragraph where I talk about theater and I made a pun. And it's kind of probably in poor taste, you know, theater of war, but that is sort of the point of her article. that things are pretty much theatric and edited and smooth and blocked out, and that could be a problem. So that might be my question. And I don't want to be too broad, so I'll talk about bombs. Now I tend to bold mine, and then there's a post. I have it. I didn't lose it. I could save it. I could save it for a few days. I could write 6 of these in a row. That didn't take too long, as you saw. And it started with just a kind of a random quote. See what happens, see what shakes out, and it does relate to the discussion topic, one of those questions. So there it is. I'm copying it. Control C. I'm going to pop into discussion board. I'm clicking create thread, and this didn't take very long, surprisingly quick. It's nice if you can touch type, but there you are. So I just copied the title, pasted that in. I'm going to hit submit, and there's a posting. Hopefully somebody will respond.